What is up, everybody? And today I want to talk with you about my favorite pulse rifle after the patch. It is the Messenger. Oh my goodness, I had no idea how good this gun was going to be, but truly, this is one of the best PvP weapons for 6v6 right now. This is, in my opinion, the best PvP pulse rifle option in 6s. It's not the best in 3s or for trials because close and mid-range engagements, this thing is ultra punishing, but if you can hold medium and long-range sightlines, this gun eviscerates. It absolutely destroys. With Headseeker, it deals 36 precision damage if that procs. Just think of that for a second, okay? 23 body damage, and then if you land the Headseeker procs on the other two shots in the burst, that's 36. It's insanely powerful, and the roll that I have on this particular one is the one I reviewed for Planet Destiny all the way back in year 1. Third Eye, Perfect Balance, and Headseeker. Darn near a perfect roll for this weapon. Back then, Trials weapons, you would go for them multiple times to get the best roll possible. It's not quite like that these days. Now, since you can't get this weapon anymore, I didn't feel right. Oh, by the way, which subclass gives you the ability to just blink in like that and then blink backwards? I would like that. Is it dial up? Is that what the perk is called right there? I think so. Now, since you can't get this weapon anymore, which we're going to talk about in a second, I'm going to tell you to check out the Parthian Shot, which is the max impact, lowest rate of fire vendor pulse rifle. That's for year 3. The other disappointing thing about the Messenger is you can't obviously use it in Iron Banner or in Trials because it's only a max light level of year 1. You're not going to be able to infuse this thing to current light levels. But with all that aside, oh my goodness, this thing, people do not expect how quickly it shreds. There are a couple of weaknesses that you have to point out. Again, Mr. Dial-Up over here. You can't miss shots, period. Because of how slow of a rate of fire this pulse rifle is, if you're dropping shots, you're going to get ultra punished for it. And if you are not spacing your fights correctly on some of the smaller maps, it's not your go-to gun. Here on Shores of Time, no big deal. We've got a bunch of long-range lanes that we can hold down. But something like Asylum, where it's all very close quarters, no. IS Lunas, Palindromes, Hawk Moons, Sidearms, those are all going to have the edge above you. I do think that they need to bring back some sort of anniversary trials weekend where you could go for some of this older gear. To have weapons like this strong in the game that players can't earn anymore, to me feels a little weird. It doesn't sit with me right. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love shooting my lovely Messenger. This was my favorite gun in year 1. But imagine like a Trials anniversary weekend where you could go for some of the older armor sets and some of the older weaponry. That way you could have your chance at a Messenger and get to try this thing out. Now, the reason the Parthian Shot is a little bit inferior to the Messenger is because the Parthian Shot's stability and range is lacking in comparison with the Messengers. The Messenger is an absolute laser beam, and when you throw a stability perk on it, it becomes just unbelievable. You're like Cyclops from the X-Men. You just blast them. Where you shoot it, that's where it goes. The Parthian Shot, you really have to juggle that recoil a bit more, and the vendor version does come with Headseeker, which I think is critical to note for this type of pulse rifle. You really want that little bit of extra damage on the Headseeker precision crits so that you can take the opponents out faster. Without a Headseeker, this archetype, the max impact, lowest rate of fire, doesn't really stand up, I think, to things like the Blind Perdition or a really nice rolled Serios PDX-45 or Hawksaw. So look for Headseeker when you're going for a Parthian Shot. And you can purchase the vendor one. You can do exceptionally well with the vendor one as long as you follow the rules. Set up on longer range sightlines. Focus on denying special because that's the easiest way to predict enemy map movements right now is they're going to go for special since it's a much rarer commodity. They're starving for it if they're not using something like the Wormwood, so you can easily lock down lanes. Now, if you're one of those players who's ultra aggressive, guns ablaze, and charges into battle all the time, is continually holding forward on the left stick, this probably isn't your weapon of choice. You'll come back to me saying, Dragoon, you're an idiot. This gun was terrible. I was getting wrecked by Wormwoods and all sorts of sidearms. Hand cannon players were shredding me to bits. That's going to happen. The only way that this gun asserts its dominance is if you let its strength shine through the longer range engagements. I'd love to know what you guys think, though, about the idea of a Trials anniversary event where they bring back once a month the chance for you to go after some of these old weaponry. I don't think it's fair or cool that some of these old weapons are floating out there with veteran players, yet maybe some new guys who got involved during Rise of Iron or the Taken King never had the chance to go after this type of gun. In the meantime, they're probably not going to see anything like that before Destiny 2. Just keep grinding for a nice Parthian Shot, and if you want to try out this weapon, the vendor Parthian Shot is a great way to go. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, let me know down in the comment section below, and we'll see you later this week.